folks. I had to Google explosive diarrhea. Can't wait to see what all those targeted ads are that pop up on my computer now for the next couple months. Welcome back to another disgusting whining about pest control. I am Shel Hartzer of 360 Pest Consulting, and today we are whining about food-borne illnesses, food-borne pathogens. I was in the mood for something nice and cold, so I have a VNA today. Cheers. That's nice VNA. Right now, the U.S. is in the middle or possibly even the beginning of a massive cyclosporiasis outbreak. Over 30 states are now reporting cases, and before we dive into all those dirty details, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and we'll get into it. I'll give you a sec. All right, when we think of foodborne illnesses, we think of Salmonella or E. coli, things like that, bacteria. But Cyclospora is a microscopic parasite. It's a protozoan, and it causes it's an explosive digestive situation that can last for weeks if you don't get the right treatment. Spending the summer on the toilet was not on anyone's wish list this year. Cyclospora actually only infects humans. Kind of cool that way. And it's spread via the fecal to oral route. Poop to mouth. It gets on our food because of contaminated agriculture water, soil, things like that. But you do know what else loves human waste and then immediately flies or crawls to land on your fresh raspberries or restaurant prep table, right? Yeah, pests. So let's talk about some of these mechanical vectors. In the pest control world, we spend a lot of time talking about biological vectors, things like mosquitoes that can transmit malaria or West Nile. That pathogen actually lives and multiplies. It reproduces inside the pest. It's an internal system. But our mechanical vectors, things like filth flies, blowflies, cockroaches, and so many more, they're dirty public transport vehicles. They don't have to be infected with cyclospora to ruin your day. They just have to step in it. All the little hairs, the spines, the crevices on insects pick up these small particles of whatever they're crawling in, and then as they fly away, crawl away, whatever, they deposit it. So pests in food processing, food storage, restaurants, home kitchens even, they're not just an annoyance. This is our job is literally public health when it comes to things like this. This is whining about pest control, so let's talk about that control aspect. Whether it is a massive food processing site or a tiny little residential kitchen, we always want to strive for zero pests, right? We also know that it's impossible to never have a single insect in a structure. Doesn't mean we can't still strive for zero. Of course, sanitation and exclusion are the top ways to really keep pests under control. If there's a trash bin that's open and filled with decomposing foods that are liquefying and dripping below the plastic liner and the thing hasn't been cleaned in years, no amount of pesticide is going to fix that. Same with exclusion. When that door with the giant red sign that says this door is to remain closed and locked at all times, and every time you look at it, it's open, and it's often propped open with a rodent bait station, no amount of sprayer bait is going to have any type of meaningful impact on that population. So we do have other things we can look at as well. We can look at light, airflow, trapping, and of course pesticides. You know from watching these videos, I do say that using pesticides in a targeted manner is okay. Sometimes we have to put a Band-Aid on the problem until a larger issue can be fixed. The goal is still to always address those issues, the conditions that are there that are causing the pests, but there are times we can't. There are times that there's a cattle feedlot right across the fence line, or we can't completely fix that door gap because the entire floor is sinking and it needs this capital investment of cash before we can do something. We can still mitigate that problem of the pest. Cyclospora is incredibly tough. Chemical sanitizers, standard produce washes, they don't easily kill this. If the pest carries it onto the food, washing it might not be enough to save you. The only real defense is keeping the pest off the food in the first place. This is why your pest control people are literally superheroes. So wash your produce thoroughly, still. Keep a sharp eye on those pests, the flies, the cockroaches, and maybe pour yourself a glass of wine to sanitize your spirit at least. You can always whine to me about your pest issues, and until next time, stay safe, wash your hands, and cheers to our food pathogen carrying pests.